What's going on, guys? In between making these videos for YouTube, I usually build a car or two to try out some new techniques without filming, and the last one I made came out really cool with this rusty patina look. So that's what we're going to do today on a couple different cars. I have another Deuce Roadster here, and this 3-window 32 Ford. That's what we're going to use today.
Uno. Deuce. Uno. Deuce.
Alright, that's enough of that. Get this guy open. Sorry, Colin. This is one of my favorite castings. See, there's quite a few pieces to this Deuce Roadster, and probably one of the most detailed interiors for a Hot Wheels car that I've ever seen. If you know of a more detailed Hot Wheels interior, let me know. Only thing we're going to need to change is that steering wheel. Comes with a metal base. Got this chrome piece. The body, the wheels, which we're not going to use. However, these other wheels for the 32 Ford, they look pretty good. I'm going to keep those. Completely chrome interior. And this little weird part of the body that connects to the blower, I'm going to have to get rid of that. Won't be needing any glass this time. Let's go strip down these chrome bits. Get rid of that paint. Take it back to the bench. You can see these cars are different versions of the same body style. Now I'm going to take this all, score a little area. This will tell us where we need to file. Don't poke yourself. You can see that line etched into the metal there. Gives us a nice guide for filing. Take out a nice square file and start going at it. Save these wheels for later. Save that glass for later. And what I like to do on these exhausts is, for a little bit more realism, I like to drill out the end. These are kind of uneven, so I'll use a file and just get a nice flat surface to drill into there. And next is the most important part, the pilot hole. Now I'm taking my awl again and just carefully pressing a dot into the middle, a little divot. And this indentation will guide the drill bit, hopefully to the center of these pipes. These are some pretty tiny pipes though, even for Hot Wheels cars. I'm going to need a tiny, tiny drill bit. Again, don't poke yourself. You can see I started by drilling a very small hole. And what you can't see is I'm using a slightly larger bit to kind of hollow out the end there. And I went ahead and did that on both sides. Okay, now it's time for the patina technique. Now, I'm going to use this matte varnish. You can see clear. Well, actually, you can't read that. There we go. Clear. Clear matte varnish. You'll never guess where I bought this. Dollar store. I've been getting a lot of comments about my dollar stores being amazing, and yeah, Japan has some really good dollar stores. Sorry. But any matte varnish should work. And basically what we're going to do is stipple this on as a kind of primer layer, but at the same time let the die-cast Zamak whatever it's called, the die-cast metal, letting that shine through. That'll be an important part of this. So basically, I ended up putting too much on to begin with. Washed out the brush, dried it, and then used it to stipple a texture. In hindsight, I would have used a smaller brush for a finer texture. This one's a bit too large. It comes out okay in the end, but you can see on this second Roadster I did, it wasn't perfect. Could have been a little better. Here it is all dry, and I'm going to add a little bit more texture towards the lower parts of the body panels there. I realized that the interior of that blower was going to be bare metal, so got some of that black magic there. And I'll put it behind the radiator on the Roadster as well. Here's a sprue of 1/72nd scale military truck. I'm just taking the steering wheel off and using a little broken piece of my jeweler's saw blade to fit it in there. Okay, all dried up. Now, we're going to take a rusty red color. This one's called Brick Red, just a cheap dollar store paint. Any craft paint should work. We're going to wipe most of it off and dry brush all over this casting. I tended to leave a heavier dry brush towards the lower areas, but it's really just preference. This is our underlayer. And this next part here is black and a burnt umber color. Again, dry brushing it on. That'll go over our red, but still show through a bit of that red. And as you can see, it's coming around very nicely. It's a pretty simple technique, but I think especially with that bare metal showing through it, it turns out really nice. And really any diecast car, once you strip it, you can get this effect on it, starting from that bare metal. Take you, and not you, take you, and yep, that one, you come here too. Take this one, and that one, there we go. What else do we need? I'll take that one, and you, and you, and you. Alright, off to the primer. Oops. Forgot I went ahead and drilled out these pipes too. All primed up. Use my burnt iron for the chassis. If you've seen any of my other videos, this is kind of obligatory for me. Next is the matte silver. Smaller brush to get into those more detailed areas. I'll hit the engines, the exhaust, and then I'll use it as a dry brush over the burnt iron. Next we got some flat red. This is a nice matte color, and my tester car was blue wheels. I went with red wheels on this one. Let me know which one you like better. And for the 3-window Ford, I went with a white wheel. This is matte white. Okay, we got some flat black paint for the wheels. And a really good way of doing wheels around the rims is by turning it with your finger as you paint it on. You can see here. Use the turning wheels to your advantage. Alright, I'm going to use all these paints on the interior. Mix up a light brown. Just look at that interior. This is what it looks like all painted up. Get some paint on the other interior. And the reason I love light gray primer so much is I can build up different grays just by using black wash directly onto the primer. I hit that patina with the black wash too, mostly in the cracks, but also on the body panels, and that is enough to finish it off. And that is looking pretty sweet. You can see on the Juice Roadster here. Some good texture, good tones. Right, last thing's left to do. Hit these taillights with some red. Hit the headlights with some white. And then it's on to dusting everything up. These are my crushed chalk pastels. And then it's assembly time. Both cars get assembled and then glued together with some super glue. And finish up with just a little bit of dust on the lower parts of the body panels there. This is a really subtle effect, but I think it helps tie it in with the dust on the tires and just the whole wasteland aesthetic that I'm usually into. And there we go. The 3-window Ford here. Looking sweet. Rolling sweet. The Deuce Roadster with those red wheels. There's all 3 of them. I love this paint effect. I hope you try it out on one of your builds too. Tell me which one you like out of the 3. I think my favorite's the one with the blue wheels. But it is the first one I did, so I'm kind of partial to it. Thanks for watching the video. I'd love for you to subscribe and check out my other builds. I have quite a few videos now that you can watch and enjoy. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I'll see you on the next build.